proposed budget, as well as reforms of the fire and EMS services, where it enacts significant fire and emergency medical service reforms by working with the Committee on Transportation and Environment and the Committee of the Whole to fund cancer treatment costs for EMS personnel, fire and EMS personnel, creates a pilot program for training ambulance maintenance technicians at the University of District of Columbia's Community College, requires AEDs at all district schools and AED and CPR training for government employees, residents, and DCPS and DCPCS students, teachers, and athletic directors, creating a CPR and AED locating mobile application to allow trained district residents to provide CPR for those in need, requiring stringent reporting on the privatization of ambulance transports by the Fire and Emergency Medical Services Department for basic life support, creating a new task force to analyze gaps in EMS delivery, 911 call volume and diversion, and community-based paramedicine strategies, requiring regular certification of all fire and EMS apparatus according to national standards, and requiring training for all 911 and 311 call takers and dispatchers. It also safeguards human rights, supports the Office of Human Rights by increasing staffing to handle the case backlog for the Fair Criminal Record Screening Amendment Act of 2014, otherwise known as Ban the Box. With that, I move the report on the committee's recommendations on the fiscal year 2017 proposed budget. Are there any comments? Here. Councilmember Che.
Thank you very much. First of all, I want to thank you and your staff for all the work that you put into the budget and the report. As we all know, public safety agencies, which are under the jurisdiction of this committee, are vital to our safety and welfare. While there have been challenges of late, particularly with fire and EMS, through your oversight, I'm hopeful that we'll get to the place we need to be, and I think that the budget reflects that commitment. And I wanted to take a moment to highlight just a couple of things. One, I was pleased to be able to transfer funds from my committee to fund the cancer treatment-related costs of Fire and Emergency Medical Services Employee Presumptive Disability Amendment Act of 2011. We really have to think of shorter titles. And I'm happy to see that the Department of Corrections has the necessary funding to assume control, as you mentioned, of the central treatment facility after the expiration of the contract with a private corrections contractor. I strongly believe that we shouldn't be contracting out to these private corporations the administration and treatment of the jail population, so I'm grateful that that will happen. I'm also pleased to be able to support the pilot program for training ambulance maintenance technicians at the University of the District of Columbia, the Community College. And as you well know, preventative maintenance of our apparatus, particularly our ambulances, has been nearly non-existent until just recently. And having a program that provides opportunities for our own district residents while also fulfilling the goal of having a well-maintained fleet is obviously what the language is today, a win-win. So I strongly support requiring regular certification of the apparatus as your budget recommends. So I also want to just add that I'm grateful you were able to restore cuts made by the executive